don't look too familiar these.
Hey y'all, out here in Pryor Creek, Oklahoma. We've been on radio tours, zigzagging all over the southeast. Was down in Texas just yesterday, and now coming up through Oklahoma. And everybody's always asking me at each one of these stops, like, where have you been for the last 10 years? Because as y'all know, I kind of just went MIA, walked away from music, stopped putting music out to radio, stopped recording, stopped doing everything. And I've never really talked about it here on my social medias and anything, because I've always kept it separate. But the last 10 years, I got involved in the gym business and started opening up 24-hour gyms. We had them in Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina. The funny thing about this is the ties that it has with my music career. My business partner in these gyms is a guy named Ed Smith, who just happens to be the biggest George Jones fan on the planet. So, funny story I'll tell y'all here real quick before we get into some other stuff. But I had got to know Ed. He'd come out to my some of the fan club parties we had with Jones. He'd come out to my Opry debut for George's 80th birthday party. And he would always tell me about his clubs out over in the Carolinas. Well, being in the music business, I'd always think, well, it's not music venues, because he's a fan. He'd already had me come out there and play at it. And then he said, I thought, well, it's not golf clubs, because he don't play golf. So in my mind, you know, this is me, I'm thinking he must own some gentleman clubs. He's probably owns some strip clubs. He said he has a bunch of them. And if you met Ed, you would agree. He's this over-the-top, larger-than-life character. And kind of, if you can imagine, like Ric Flair back in the day. Woo! You know, that's Ed Smith. So in my mind, I had created this story and believed it, that Ed Smith owns these strip clubs. So one day I'm talking to him. This is about time the kids are growing up. Me and Steve are out on the road. Steve Ganson over here is former guitar player back in the day when we were really pushing gospel according to Jones too. And you know, the kids are growing up, they're crying, I'm getting off the road. And I was talking to Ed one day and said, man, you know, I'd really like to find something else to do, so I'm not out here just on the bus all the time, and I want to be home more with the kids. And he said, man, that's great. He said, let's open up a club around Nashville. He said, you know how much I love coming out there hanging out with you. And I thought, you know, I want to get off the road. I want to be home. I want to be there with Jessica and the kids. The worst possible thing I could do is be partners in a strip club. And he just, dead silence. He looked at me and wondered, what the hell are you talking about? He said, I own health clubs. So I said, well, I'd like to know more about that. So long story short, back in 2014, we opened our first Quick Fit gym in Greenbrier, Tennessee. Started rolling them over into Kentucky, opened up a handful of them up there, opened up some in North Carolina where Ed already had gyms. And flash forward, here we are, and now it's 2026, but in 2025, Steve, my former guitar player over here, who he and his wife Keisha had relocated back out to Oklahoma, calls me and says he'd like to open up a gym. So the newest Quick Fit gym is right here in Pryor Creek, Oklahoma.
That's right.
So you know, here we are on radio tour going through here, but that's kind of the backstory, and Steve has done an awesome job here.
Thanks,
and
man.
He's going to have a whole handful of these things here real soon, and going to be a big part of this company, and as we grow it, and hopefully have them all over Oklahoma and other states and stuff like that going too. But just thought y'all might get a kick out of the music connection through being in the gym business.
There you go.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I actually tell this story all the time, and it's really cool to be able to share with people kind of like the 10-year saga that led to this gym opening, because I always get the question, why'd you open in Pryor? And it's so much fun to tell that story. And it's two of my favorite things, health and music, you know, kind of combining. And it's really cool. It creates a whole atmosphere that I think you can't write that story. It's really awesome.
Well, we're proud of you. You kicking tail and taking names.
Yeah.
And it is very, very unique story.
Mm-hmm.
Music into the gym business.
That's right.
Speaking of gospel according to Jones, we've done this one a few times.
Handful.
But we've never done it in one of our Quick Fit gyms. With people working out.
That's right.
Aerosmith and classic rock playing in the speakers. So here we go. It's hard to make it to the back view if you do what I do all night. And if the church house wasn't so far, this bar maybe I tried. But as it goes, I'm just a no-show, sitting here singing these songs. Get on against me. I've been spreading the message from the gospel according to John. Yeah, so step right on up, take the grand tour. Ain't stop loving her today. Tennessee whiskey and white lightning, they're just some of the choices I've made. And it's a real good year for the roses. Remember, the race is still on. That's just a few of the chapters from the gospel according to Jones. You know, they say in Nashville that everything starts with a song. That song truly is the entire reason Quick Fit gyms are
Wow,
in existence today. We
That's
got them all over the
crazy.
place now, even starting in Oklahoma, and it's because of that song right there. So, how about that?
I never thought about it.
Different
Just
ways to
that
skin a
song,
cat.
man. That's crazy, dude.
Eat your heart out.